Were you kind and you rewound?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
Good for you.
So if I didn't be kind of rewind, I would have got my ass whooped so hard. You're like, son, why did you not do this?
Nerd On.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve. I'm Josh, one of the hosts. I do the audio for the show. I'm a producer. Yeah, that's my role on the show. Let's go around the room and introduce the rest of the hosts.
My name is Ali. I am another member of the Nerd On podcast. And aside from this, I do YouTube. I cover mostly gaming. As of right now, it's pretty much the one game, Destiny 2, because that's like what's popular nowadays with all the kids.
It's the only game.
But yeah, I covered a lot of Destiny, now Destiny 2. Doing a lot of live streaming on Twitch. And aside from that, I do like various other projects and creative efforts. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. What's up? I'm Corey Powers. I also play video games, but no one watches. So, you got to one up on me there. I have cats. I don't know if that helps.
They watch.
Hey.
No, I'm a musician, avid video game and comic book fan, movie fan as well. Writer and a musician. So that's what I got. That's what I bring to this table.
Heck yeah.
Holla at your boy. This is Tom, resident comic book nerd and filmmaker. I professionally produce commercial content, but independently write and direct my own independent stuff. I said independent twice. But yeah, I'm a big fan of TV, movies, comic book stuff. I got another podcast where we talk only about comic books and anime. We got to have someone that represents some of the Asian brothers. But video game stuff too.
Wait, you're Asian?
What?
Wait, what?
I know.
You should have told us before, man.
This is... Okay.
Yeah. I found out a couple years ago. Sad thing, the doctor said it's terminal, so there's nothing I could do about it.
You will die because of who you are.
Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I'll be Asian forever. Kind of affects my credit score.
It's like yellow fever or something
does it
like
really?
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also the way I drive.
Don't say things like that because I'll believe it.
Yeah.
I'm
fall for it,
Irish,
too.
so it's that,
Hey.
But you know what? That looks good on a Match.com.
I'll drink to
profile.
that.
Mine doesn't.
So, yeah. So for our first episode, we thought we would talk about our birth as nerds, where our nerddom started.
Where it all came from.
Yeah.
Our
The
origin
seed
story.
that grew into the tree of nerdom, as they say.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down with that. The
You wanna
tree
start
of
us off,
nerddom.
bud?
Let's do that.
Oh man.
Start
I
us
get to
off
start
on your tree's journey.
my tree's journey. The tree of life, nerd style. I feel like I was born a nerd. I feel like this is like an
On the
AA
certificate
meeting.
and
Yeah.
everything. It's
My name is Josh, and I'm a nerdaholic.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Keep coming back. It works. No, from a young age, I can remember just really digging anything that was movies, TV shows, video games, cartoons. I was way into cartoons. In fact, my first email that I ever had was on Web TV, and it was Cartoon Crazy Boy at whatever. I was like 8. Okay.
Cartoon Crazy Boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I used to go to chats and pick up girls. Oh man, I was so cool.
Better than my first screen name.
Not really. Huh?
Better than my first screen name.
Yeah.
Are we doing this?
we
Are
will
we
get to
sharing
this.
screen names?
Yeah, no, now I want to know. What was your first screen name?
So, do you guys remember like back in the day, like those anime shirts that had said like plastic on it? I think it was a brand, maybe like a skateboard brand.
Okay. No,
Like,
but yeah.
I had a few because I was just an absolute dork in middle school and high school.
You were.
And my first screen name was Plastic Man 1985.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying. If you just get a message from this thing that says Plastic Man being like, sup, I'd be like, what is going
it's like-
on? It's like
like-
Slender Man.
Didn't know. Yeah, it was like the
All
it was
the
like
boys
the
will be like,
creepy
I don't
pasta.
know about Plastic Man.
It's like ASL.
Oh, man.
Yeah, exactly. ASL somehow transmitting breathing through AOL chat. But yeah, that was a while back.
Plastic.
But
Man,
continue.
I think you're gonna win that, man.
What was yours,
Care to
Corey?
share?
Mine wasn't that interesting. I made mine when I was obsessed with Tony Hawk Pro Skater or Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Corey
It was just Corey 1080 because I knew Tony Hawk had done the 900, and I was like, "What's up? I'm Corey 1080."
Oh, wow.
That was it. It's not very exciting at all.
1080, wait a minute. That must be a reference to skateboarding. You do that 1080 trick that Tony Hawk could?
It's a starter,
Sick
conversation
name,
starter.
bro.
What about you, Tom?
So when I first got like AOL and AIM and screen, instant messaging was kind of a thing, and you had to like decide between like having to like go on the phone or like being on the internet
Yeah.
and chatting up with them girls. Digimon was like the big thing back
Oh,
in the day. So, and my favorite
go.
number is 3.
Here we go.
So mine was like War Greymon 3 at AOL.com.
Oh, no.
I
right,
stand
Ollie,
by
I'm
it.
sorry.
Yeah, I think
You don't
he
win
takes the cake
anymore.
on
Oh,
that.
man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's how you know it's a true like
Digimon,
Yeah.
digital monster, something like that.
true
Trying to make
person
it
that
feel
had no
better.
real heroes.
Terrible lyrics.
Hey, it was.
Terrible. In comparison to
worse.
Pokemon lyrics, Digimon lyrics.
Man,
Don't hit
Pokemon
the
lyrics
But
were...
the through line of Digimon series, like it actually ends. There's an arc.
I'm not. Yeah,
there's
I agree with that. I agree
development.
with that. But the theme song is just stating what they are. I remember
Yeah.
that Pokemon theme song got
It's
some
about
like
friendship
real feelings
and
in
about
me
like
when I was young.
love
and
and
trying and like working towards a goal.
being a champion.
Yeah,
Being the best, man, being
like no one ever
individual.
was.
Yeah, just
All-
going out there and giving it your heart.
All the theme songs, like I think of like Chippendales and
Yeah.
like Darkwing Duck.
Oh, Darkwing Duck.
Like all
was my
those theme
jam.
songs, I always think
Rescue
about.
Rangers.
Yeah, I always think of like, because I'm an audio engineer and because I'm a musician and singer, I'm like, I try to imagine the recording session for those. Like people just getting really into Chippendales. Like,
All right, take it again
yes.
from the top. This is take 60.
One more time.
A little bit more chip, less tails.
Yeah, I just imagine that guy in like sandals and an Aloha t-shirt or Aloha shirt, not unlike what I'm wearing, and like a Bloody Mary in one hand, sunglasses on, and inside the studio recording booth. We're going again. All right, Chippendales.
It's a Surfer Bro version of Chippendales.
Yeah.
Best job ever.
So Josh, where did it begin?
Where
You
did
were
it
born a nerd.
I was born a nerd. I think my first nerd experience, my parents always tell me that I was big into Ghostbusters. So I had all of
Classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. I had the sheets that they glow in the dark, and they were
What?
sweet. And my dad
That seems counterproductive. Sheets that glow in the dark seems like
they are.
They're just
but
slimed all
Why
over.
not?
It's gonna
Yeah.
Well, it's
slime
like you don't
up.
need a nightlight anymore.
That's
Got
true.
that-
That's a good
it's
point.
got
All right.
ectoplasm. Hey, I didn't even think about that. Dual purpose.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was.
Bust those out now.
So my dad always tells me the story that he was coming into my room and then I was under my covers, and he was like, "What's going on, man? What's going on?" And I peeked out and I said, "I ain't afraid of no ghost."
You gotta.
But then from there, it just I was big into Looney Tunes. I loved Marvin the Martian. He was my favorite. Rugrats, Rocko's Modern Life, all those shows,
Yeah.
Animaniacs.
Dude, Animaniacs.
It's ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It's so ahead of its time.
So good.
Ren and
so
Stimpy.
many adult jokes in Animaniacs.
I was watching it recently on Netflix and I was like, my God, Spielberg is a genius.
They made a joke about fingering Prince, the artist.
Yeah, and that made it through just fine.
It made it through all right.
And they did the whole Goodfeathers like
Yeah.
bit with the like they were on set for Birds for Alfred Hitchcock movie. I was like, this is so amazing. This
I mean,
is
Ren and
ridiculous.
Stimpy. I mean, that's like it's one of those
That I
cartoon
don't-
shows that you're like, that's not an adult
It's not
show.
not for kids at all.
Stimpy, you idiot.
I don't know how they got that on
No.
as a kids show. It's clearly like maybe it was a time before,
Was it on
adults
late or
had
something?
Cartoons.
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
The world has kind of grown to being whiny little bitches.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so then it was like, fuck it, whatever. Just put it on.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I don't know. I don't.
He said but.
And it's funny because like you think about it, like a
Like
lot of
kids hearing
cartoons
butt.
now, like that are going on Adult Swim or like you got Archer, you got Rick and Morty and all that stuff. But like you see kids watch that way more than adults, and even though it's geared towards
yeah.
adults,
Yeah.
and like you see those shirts at like Hot Topic or like at Target, and it's
Yeah.
like obviously kids are going to buy this, but it's like why put up the whole hubbub about like when it's
Yeah.
like when someone says something stupid. So
Yeah. So yeah, it started with cartoons and then it got into movies. A lot during college, I worked at a video store. I managed Hollywood Video,
Hollywood Video.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Pour one for the homie.
Hollywood Video until its dying day, 2010. I worked there as a manager, and you could rent 5 movies at a time. So
fancy.
I rented 5 movies at a time, and I watched them often.
Just back-to-back marathon.
Just back to back. And
That
it's
marathon life.
And
though.
Blockbuster, you could only do 2, right?
I
Yeah.
think
I
so.
think that was the competitive edge.
Yeah, we were awesome.
And you had to like a special membership for that too.
And so yeah, I watched a lot of movies. If somebody was renting a movie, I was like, oh, I haven't seen that. I'll rent that next. And so I would just watch and watch and watch. And now I binge watch with my wife. We'll watch TV shows, movies, all those Netflix things. I mean, we'll go to the movie theaters. Like, I mean, if it's a good month where a lot of movies are coming out, it'll be 4 times a month that we'll go see a movie. And then big into video games. That was always my thing too. It was cartoons and my Nintendo and Super Nintendo. RPGs, Final Fantasies, Legend of Dragoon.
Oh yeah.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono
Mario
Trigger's fantastic.
right?
Super Mario RPG.
Oh man, I put so much time into that. It used to piss me off. I think I broke a controller once just being so mad at Super Mario Brothers because you'd make a jump and you wouldn't make it and you'd be like a little kid going, "That's not fair." Of
course.
Throw the thing, and now it's like anyway. But I got back into video games a couple of years ago, so now I'm back in it, and it's I mean, it really is movies, TV shows, and video games that just get me.
Yeah.
I just love them.
Absolutely.
Gives you that raging nerd on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it gives
that
me a
nerd on.
raging nerd on.
Hey, maybe we should call our podcast that.
What? Huh? What about you,
It's a
Corey?
concept. Where did I start?
Yeah.
Where did my tree of nerddom grow? Well, if you must know, I'm a Pisces, so I'm a dreamer. No, but I come from a family of performers and artists and stuff like that. So I've always kind of been in my head about stuff. Always dreaming about different stuff. So when it came to like my dad giving me my first comic book and being like, oh, I can this whole new world I can pretend to live in and stuff like that. I think that's really what it came down to, where it all started. My dad was a comic book collector, and so he had all sorts. They got stolen, unfortunately, which is really sad. But he had all sorts of comics for us to read. So I remember he was, and Tom knows this about me. I'm a Marvel boy. I love Marvel. I love DC, but Marvel's like where my home is. And so he had all these, everything from Iron Man, Captain America, but I was all about that X-Men life when I was growing up. Loved X-Men. The animated cartoon was on every day. My other first love of nerddom was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was like, I had the sheets. I had a pillow Donatello that I hung out with and took around with me everywhere.
Can.
There you go.
A metal trash can and this large Michelangelo doll. And then I had all the toys that you could open up the shell.
Yeah, and they could change it from a baby to a Ninja Turtle. Yeah. That was the shit. Those things were the coolest thing in the world. I love Ninja Turtles so much that I ended up taking 12 years of Kempo karate and learning how to use the bow staff because I love Donatello.
Okay. He's
the
your
best.
spirit animal?
He's my spirit animal. He gets it.
He also
smart.
died.
He beats people up with a stick. He builds everything. Tom, we don't talk about that right now. But then
Comic books, you can come back to life.
it went from there into movies and video games was really what not only did I get to, especially with video games, enjoy this other world, but I got to participate in it, and I thought that was so cool. And that led me into one of my other true loves, which is board games. I am a huge cooperative board game person. Like Tom was just over there going like this with his hand, like Magic cards. I used to go to tournaments. I used to competitively play Magic the Gathering all day. White decks for life.
I had
White what?
White and blue
White what?
decks.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
Just wanna make sure we're talking
Appreciate
about
it,
the same thing
Tom.
here.
But now
Triggered.
I'm with Tom. I create sketches and movies and
We're always
stuff
together.
like that. What's that?
We're always together.
Yeah, we're together too much, some might say. And playing Blizzard games is where I'm at now. So
How do you stay married if you're with him all the time?
it's hard. It's difficult.
heard of polygamy?
The cats take up a lot of her time, so it's fine.
Okay, good.
We're Mormon.
Okay, good. The kids.
But yeah, I mean, same as you. Comic book, movies, video games.
Yeah.
And TV shows, not as much. I love TV shows, specific ones, but
I wish I had that growing up. I didn't, It's like hip hop music. I didn't get into like hip hop music until I like was much older. Like I
Your
never
mind
read it.
developed already.
Yeah, my wee tiny brain could not comprehend comics. But no, I had a friend that introduced me to comics like later in college, and I started with Preacher, and Preacher's amazing.
You watched the show?
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Is that an episode later? Maybe. I don't know.
Who
I'll
knows?
have to watch it.
Second season's coming out in a few months.
I do have to admit though, I for a while I was into comic books. I took a brief gap, and Tom has pretty much taught me now everything I know about comic books.
Okay.
I touched him.
Yeah.
If everybody doesn't know at home, Tom will be our comic fiend.
Yeah.
The person that knows the most about comics, because I will most likely be the Scooby-Doo. Ooh.
It's my new screen name, Comic Book Man.
Yeah. ASL.
Tom's the guy I go to when I need to complain about the Flash, because it's the one I really know about
Nice.
in DC. They're not doing it right.
They're not doing it right. That's fine. Another thing that I didn't say about my nerddom is that I studied acting going through high school and college, and so that was kind of my way of like. So plays were another thing, and musicals.
Theater.
That was a part of my
Musical theater?
my nerddom.
Oh yeah, because
yeah.
you're a singer. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. What was your favorite part you played?
El Gallo and the Fantastics. It's a very little known.
Yeah, I was
musical.
like, I got nothing. I got nothing. I was like, I liked playing Rooster and Annie. That was
Yeah.
Nice.
Who's
Little known
next?
play.
Yeah, little known play.
Me and Ollie have been doing this kind of like sensual looking. It's like who's going to do it? Who's going to be
gonna do
first? Who's going to make the move?
We already broke the rotation.
We did.
Yeah, we
So-
did. It's all good.
I'll try to fix it.
Yeah.
Where did my nerdom start? Well, my nerdom started pretty early on, just like you, Josh, and you, Corey. Huge Batman fan. Just unbelievable Batman.
Good
Like,
choice. Good choice.
animated series, Tim Burton movies, everything. Even Schumacher movies. When I was young, I didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
No,
like
no way,
Batman
dude.
I
and
was like,
Robin.
yeah.
My first Batman movie I ever watched was Batman Forever. And then the moment you see Val Kilmer jump off the building and then it's like that CGI, his cape flying,
Yeah.
he goes right into the Batmobile. I was like,
Like, well, there it
This
is.
is the best thing I've
It's
ever
like,
seen.
the Ice Age did kill a dinosaur. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It's educational and informative.
I sadly admit that I had all those toys. I had the George Clooney Batman toys. For
What is so
years.
wrong?
Did the toys have the nipples
They're
on
so
them?
good.
Yeah.
They're so dumb, but so good.
No, no, they're not
so
good.
shiny.
Whatever.
Yeah. But huge
So many
into
cod
Batman.
pieces.
Huge into Disney when I was young.
Okay.
My mom would take me to like every Disney movie as they were coming out, and I have a younger brother that's like 2.5 years younger than me, so that was my. I was
Excuse.
sort of anchored into young stuff, like as opposed to having like an older brother where you would watch like R-rated movies. I had the younger brother who had the excuse to keep playing with toys and
I had to babysit my little brother and had to watch like Blue's Clues.
yeah.
And Arthur
Mhm.
on PBS. Yeah.
But really
Nothing
the
wrong
big
with Arthur.
Arthur's great.
What a wonderful kind of day.
But starting with the big nerd, all caps started with NES.
Okay.
That was kind of my way in, and I had a ton of games, and some of my favorites were like A Boy and His Blob, and I don't know if you've heard of that. And it's like this crazy game where you're this boy and you're followed by this like white blob, and you feed him jelly beans and
Why is the blob white?
and he keeps like changing into like a ladder or why is he white?
Why is the blob white?
Tom, I think you should take issue with that.
Limited color palettes.
Okay.
So NES was super fun, and I played a ton of video games, Final Fantasy and Tekken, and
PlayStation.
See, I was
Scott
right
fell,
behind.
yeah.
I was mine, was
moved on to PlayStation at some point.
mine was N64. I was right on the end
N64.
of the Super Nintendo.
I missed most of anything Sega, which
Yeah,
I'm
me
a
too.
little, which I'm a little upset about.
Yeah.
But big Nintendo fan.
Yep.
So as a result,
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I was a Nintendo then it moved to PlayStation.
Mhm.
It was like I'm an avid I just couldn't get into Xbox. All my
Yeah.
friends in high school got Xboxes, and I was like,
Oh, I got Xbox.
Well, I
Halo,
got
PlayStation and PlayStation
Another
2.
wrong decision.
I got into an Xbox.
Halo is my
Via
jam.
Halo.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really okay.
I got into Xbox via Halo,
And Gears of War is
and-
good.
Oh, Halo is so good.
and I think that was around
talk
college
about five,
or high, like right at the end of high school. I think it was around college, and the most fun was just my brother and I would take my Xbox and our TV to a buddy's house,
LAN parties.
LAN
for
party,
Halo. Dude, LAN parties for Halo were the shit.
where him and his brother were playing on one TV and we would play on another TV.
Yeah.
we could never get like that faux online thing to work. You had to go through like some website to like set it up. But we did
Wasn't
LAN
worth it.
parties. So much fun. We sunk so many hours into Halo 1.
Dude, we did the same thing. My buddy, he and his brother had separate rooms next door to each other. So
Yeah.
we would just set it up so that his little brother and his friends were in one room and we were in the other room.
Yeah.
And we would just, we would dominate because we were like 4 years older, but it was so much fun. It
Yeah.
was so much
Your
fun.
eye-hand coordination was better.
Way
So
better.
you used it against
far
them.
better. We'd play psychological warfare. When one of us would die, we'd run in the other room and shoot with airsoft guns.
Yeah.
Not saying it's fair, but when you're, 12,
When you're a
it
kid,
is.
you're an asshole.
Yeah, of
I'm just
course.
saying.
They did the same to us.
A win's
Yeah.
a win.
Yeah, exactly. The other big thing for me was my uncle, because he's, I want to say 10 years older than me. And he is where my like film nerdom came from, because he's like, my first rated R movie was Species, and he showed it to me and my brother. And then he took us to the re-releases of the Star Wars movies, and then whatever happened after the 4, 5, and 6 that was released in theaters that no one wants to talk about ever again.
I do admit though, my dad was stoked finally seeing Yoda fight in those prequels. I remember my dad being like,
It was
I waited
cool in the
30
moment.
years for that.
It was cool in the moment, but like just in the moment, and then
At least
you
we got
realize
Ewan
what you
McGregor.
walked out
At
of.
least,
we got Jar
Ewan
Jar
McGregor.
Binks, guys.
Ewan McGregor.
No?
Well, they made
No?
lightsaber fights dope.
Yeah, they did.
They made
No?
them super dope.
Yeah.
They made him cool, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like I guess that's my nerdom in a nutshell. I'm sure more of it will come out as we do
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
these episodes,
Yeah. I
but
like it
that's
when the
kind of
nerdom comes
the
out.
big
This
pillars.
is the
I
condensed
suppose.
milk version of.
Exactly. sweet
Just add
condensed
water.
milk.
It's just one of the apples from the tree of nerdom.
Now I want a Thai iced tea. Thanks, Corey.
No problem, man.
Thai iced tea is so good.
Sounds good.
So good. Anyways, so I guess it's my turn.
It is, Tom.
Last and least and youngest. Well, so starting from gaming, my dad. So preface this: my parents always worked night shifts, so I never really saw them at night. And like throughout the day, it's like school, and then I had to just be home and quote unquote do homework. But so I did a lot of my own kind of like growing up by myself and just staying to my devices. But my dad had the NES, and he obviously gave it to me so I could play with it. So the only 2 games I had were Duck Hunt and that Super Mario game.
Yeah.
You know how it was like a
Yep.
combo? So like you put it in there, you had to choose which one you wanted to play first. So I played that a lot, and ever since then I became this Nintendo guy. I had every single Nintendo system ever since that point, except the Super NES. Because I didn't
Same.
realize,
Dude,
yeah.
what?
I had
Super NES was the jam.
I had
I
NES,
love
N64,
Super Nintendo.
GameCube, Wii U. I'm gonna get the Switch sometime. I don't know, but everything.
Someday.
I was just Nintendo the entire time. And I remember when all my friends got like PlayStations, I was like, no, must stay loyal to the family. But
But now what are you rocking, Tom?
excuse me.
But now what are you rocking?
Now I have a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, you do.
But no, now I'm like I'm all inclusive. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
universal, everything. But the big thing for Nintendo has been always just been Smash Bros. I've always
yeah.
been,
Oh
like,
yeah.
well, like so
Never-
like N64 was like cool and like I got it. I just like wanted to beat it so like I can get a brand new one. My dad always be like, "Hey, you can't get a new game unless you beat this game first." And I was
Smart move.
Like,
Smart move.
challenge.
Would he check?
Yeah, he would check. And
Wow.
the thing is, it was one of the great things about my childhood is like I would come home from like karate practice and see my dad like playing my Star Fox game and
Oh,
like
nice.
finding the new route. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then so like
My dad was like that with GoldenEye.
Yeah.
He beat that thing on the hardest of the hard. And I was like, my dad's a god. I was like 9 years old. I was like,
I'll
I don't know
have
how he
to
does.
be
I
his
bragged to
age
my
to be
Aspire
friends.
to be a skill
I was like,
level.
yo, my dad beat GoldenEye on the hardest setting. Only slaps.
and proximity mines.
Yeah. He's the one who unlocked all the cheats. Remember we had the big heads and stuff.
I
and
love that game. That's
He
the.
killed it.
I didn't have a Nintendo 64. I only had the PlayStation consoles, and so my friends had Xboxes. It's probably why I'm so bad at Crucible with Destiny, because when I played Halo for the first time,
Yeah.
I got my ass handed to me, and I think from there I just got really like mad and was like,
Man.
I'm never gonna play first
Rage
person
quit.
shooter ever.
Rage quit.
I was a poor loser.
I was a complete potato Destiny year 1. Like I just could barely walk around, let alone aim my gun in the general direction.
Yay!
But man,
I'm so
when it comes
excited.
back, and I know it will, Iron Banner,
Yeah.
that'll train you right up real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I got good at in the first Destiny, because I did a rage quit with the first Destiny when they're like, we released part of the game. I was like, screw this, I'm out. I practiced so hard with those revolvers to get those headshots.
Yeah.
That was my
Just
favorite
playing
thing.
Mayhem.
to do.
Satisfying.
Just playing Mayhem will get you really good because you just get
Mayhem.
so used to like being.
I'm
real
gonna
quick
get
on
2.
top.
I'm gonna do it.
So
Someday.
good. It's so good.
And so in terms of like comic books, I guess is another one of the things with my dad. He gave me this It was a time in the 90s where like comic books had to be like this weird 3D feeling,
Yeah.
like, where you could rub your hands on it, or you could put paper on it and like shade over it and have like the drawing there. But it was when Batman meets Spider-Man,
Okay.
and they fight Carnage and Joker at the same time. It was really weird. I don't know, and it was just really cool for me.
That's strange. I would read that though.
And
crazy,
again, like I was home a lot. I never liked sports or anything like that, and I don't know. I guess my parents didn't think I had hand-eye coordination or anything like that. But I watched a lot of the Batman the Animated Series, and then slowly got into Spider-Man the Animated Series.
You mean the best cartoon of all time, Batman the Animated
Best
Series?
cartoon of all time.
Bruce Timm. But
We can't have the Spider-Man argument right now.
Oh.
I'm just saying. There's
No.
a very heated Spider-Man
There it is.
argument
We'll get to it.
that
We'll
will
get to
happen someday.
Yes.
Doesn't have to do with the cartoon
Not
though,
right
so it's
now.
fine.
No,
Cartoon's
but
great.
That is also Avi Arad. But anyways, but it wasn't until later on in high school. There's a friend of mine who I had biology with who like was talking about comic books, and like I knew what he was talking about because I watched the animated shows. And I was like, oh wow. And then he was like, hey, you want to go on Wednesdays to the comic book store? So every Wednesday for an entire year, I would get like 5 comic books, and I just started building a
Nice.
huge collection.
That's how I was with Magic Cards.
Goosebumps. Oh, that's what
Yeah.
the way I was with Goosebumps. Like I would get my allowance
Mm-hmm.
and I would buy Goosebumps.
Yeah.
My
Well, we would
sister was
have
really
the
into that.
scholastic
Calvin and Hobbes
thing
for
through like I think it was an elementary
Yeah,
school.
Booster
elementary
Club
school.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the little thing, and
Yeah.
you could order.
That's where I got all,
would
I
get
got,
around,
I
get
got
like a
all the
box
Calvin
set or
and Hobbes
something.
from that. That was my
Yeah.
that was my
I would always
go-to.
get Goosebumps. That was my go-to.
I'm the odd man out here, I guess.
No, I would always get. I wouldn't get Goosebumps. My sister would always get Goosebumps. I would always get. This is really bad. I would always get movie adaptations of the book. So like, so it'd be like,
I remember those.
yeah, it'd be like the Star Wars movie in the book form, based off the movie. So it's like
Yeah.
not even off the book.
Oh no, the
Because
It's not even the
novelization.
script.
Because technically, leading up to my next point, like in terms of movies, my parents had this huge VHS collection, and they just have the VHS there. They have the little little race car rewinder there right next
Yeah.
to it. So I would just watch movies left and right all day, every day. And so
Were you kind and you rewound?
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
Good for
okay.
you.
So that big revelation, I was, I'm of the Asian descent. If I didn't be kind of rewind, I would have got my ass whooped so hard. They're like, son, why did you not do this? I was like, oh God. I cried, and then they take all away my action figures and stuff. But
Wow.
yeah.
You can use that for clap sync.
Also a big thing, I guess, is oh man, I just watched so much TV as a kid. Like Power Rangers was huge.
Yes.
Oh, Power
I remember-
Rangers,
That's what inspired this first episode. We
Yeah.
were reminiscing and we were like, oh, we should talk about what we grew up on.
Yeah.
Power Rangers was legit.
I remember.
Yeah.
So like, my name's Tom. But then when Tommy came around, like every single favorite color I ever had as a kid followed his outfit,
Green
Yeah.
and white.
because it was
Gold.
green, white, then red, and then he became black. And then I was like, all right.
I had the
Black
biggest
Panther.
crush
Can't
on the
believe-
Pink Ranger.
Oh yeah, we
Remember
all
that?
did.
First
Of course.
love.
No problem.
First
First
love.
love. Oh my gosh.
No judgment here.
I don't know.
And she,
She
still
was in
looks
some
great. I'm
weird.
just saying.
Have you
Amy
seen?
Jo
Have you
Johnson?
seen the show that she does or she did
Mm-mm.
She was like a
since
cop,
then?
right?
Yeah, it's like a Canadian show because they use
We
like
don't
terms
talk
like
about
constable.
we don't.
She's
It's just-
the Pink
it-
Ranger.
it wasn't
at
a
one point does she
terrible
reveal
show.
that she's the Pink Ranger on that show? Because that's what she is.
It's
forever.
coming up soon. It
Oh, I
is.
think
It
next
is a
season?
shared universe.
Shout out to the age of the double J.
I don't know if you guys remember the toys that came off that the Megazord.
They actually
Oh,
have
yeah.
them at Barnes and Noble, those bookstores. They have the White Ranger sword.
Oh, Saba.
Yeah.
I have the Green Ranger's daggers.
Yeah.
But
Every
those Transformer toys, when they came out, not Transformer, sorry, Power Ranger toys, the Megazords, when they came out, they were so popular
Yep.
that I remember my mom couldn't get it for me for Christmas, and I like lost it because all my friends got it and I didn't. I still have mine now because that's how much it meant to me.
I don't
was like,
know
I'm gonna put this-
how we were so spoiled, but my brother and I were allowed to buy one from Target
Mm.
like every Saturday
Ooh.
until we had
Wow.
like the full collection. I don't think we could each have a copy
Can I
of
take your
like
parents? Can
Yeah.
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 Trade
like
chocolates?
my,
poor
me and my
mom
brother
probably ran
together
around
formed the
like 10
collection.
different stores, but
Ooh.
that's
It was
dope.
sweet.
I had Voltron.
Voltron. I never got
And
a
action
Voltron.
figures
Voltron
were
guy.
metal in the 70s and 80s.
They were weapons.
Oh, jeez.
They
of
were
mass
like
destruction.
hardcore. I remember when like I used to play like Cowboys and Indians or like like cops and whatnot when I was a
Cops and
kid.
robbers.
Yeah.
Cops and robbers. So I had like fake guns. Fake guns used to look real.
Oh yeah.
we're having the when I was a kid. Like they looked
now there's-
real, and now they're just
such
plastic.
strict laws that Tom and I couldn't get a prop gun in California.
We literally were
because-
trying to order a fake gun
with
and
an
we
orange tip and everything, but they were like, not in California.
can't ship it.
Really?
It has to be bright green.
Oh man.
So
It
we're
has to
like,
look
we
like
can't
awful.
do a sketch where someone's like, I'm gonna kill you with this like bright green gun.
It looks like an emoji.
That sounds insane.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. But
She
it
got
was-
it 3D printed.
yeah, right.
toys are such like a big thing too, because I remember like when Power Rangers came out, you know the toy that had like the revolving head,
Yeah.
I still have all
I
mine.
had the- I had
still have
those.
all mine.
and then I had like the 9-inch figure where it's like very weird light plastic, and they all had like a weird move. Like the Blue Ranger could karate chop, and like
What?
the Yellow Ranger could like kick. It was
didn't
I had
have
all those
though.
toys.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, and like obviously you look up on eBay and like, oh, they're worth a lot of money, but it's like I can never find those. But to Ali's story, I remember
bring mine
one
in
Christmas where I don't know why my parents just I don't know, maybe hit the jackpot or something like that, but they gave me like 13 boxes.
All
of
those night
presents,
shifts.
maybe, and I opened every single one up. It was the entire like cast or a crew of Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
And they just stacked so high. I remember it was like the best day.
maximize.
Oh my god! And
I
then
love
it just
Beast Wars.
stacked so high.
Oh man, that just made my day.
Oh my god!
Optimus Primal.
One of my Optimus
Oh.
Prime. My favorite was the Fire Ant. Do you remember him? His catchphrase
Oh,
that he
yeah.
would yell. He was crazy. He was
Yeah.
insane.
He's,
Like,
he's supposed to be a Maximal though. He's supposed to be a good guy.
he went crazy.
Yeah.
And he always yells. He has these 2 machine guns in his hands, and he just flies around shooting crazy, going for the glory of the royalty.
Yes, yeah. I always loved.
It was the best, dude.
I always loved Megatron because he's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
everything. I was like, oh god, like
I
little dude.
love Beast Wars so much that me and my couple of my buddies, Sam Turnbull and Chase Mullins, if they're listening, you know what I'm
Shout
talking
out.
about. We had an after-school club where we would watch Beast Wars episodes.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Man, I wish
So
I was
good.
that cool.
That like
So
Windows
good.
95 graphics.
Oh,
man.
dude.
With the voice acting there, top notch.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny to talk about what it used to be like because I mean it really has changed so much. Like it's like, okay, talking age. I mean I'm 32. We're all kind of in the same kind of range.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, midnight showings actually meant midnight,
Mhm.
where you actually
Not
had to
9
line
p.m.,
up.
11
8
p.m.
p.m.
Or- No,
Yeah.
now it's 7 p.m. You
Yeah.
can go see the movie that's comes out.
They
next
still call it a
tomorrow.
midnight release.
They still call it the midnight showing, and it's like, no, you fuckers. It's no, because I remember I lined up for Lord of the Rings, all those Star Wars
Lord of
movies,
the
even though they
Rings.
were terrible.
I didn't even talk
Um,
about Lord of the Rings. We should have a whole episode. I could have a whole episode.
There's a whole
on Lord of the
episode on
Rings,
Lord of the
guys.
Rings.
Just Middle Earth.
Just
Oh my god.
and going to all the
Favorite
midnight
trilogy.
showings, all the Harry Potters. I'm a huge Harry. That's one of my new, not new. It's been since the books came out, but I mean, like I have the Deathly
kind of
Hallows
flourishing
tattooed on me. I mean, it's like I love Harry Potter, and so
Yeah.
I remember I would go to all of the midnight showings, and it's like
Oh,
now.
Yeah.
Did you do
people don't-
costumes? We did costumes.
What
I
house
did
are
do
yours?
costumes. I was sorted into Gryffindor. That's where I was sorted.
Ravenclaw.
Hey, I just
Slytherin.
answered the survey. Okay.
Slytherin. Slytherin.
Ollie, do you know what you are?
I think I'm Gryffindor, I believe. I'm
Okay.
not 100%.
Well, next episode we'll check.
I am a
We'll have to
Leo,
run that again.
So
That makes sense.
I can't
It does.
change you guys. It's okay.
just kind of makes
I
sense.
got Ravenclaw, which I'm cool with. I love it. Ravens are my favorite.
Hopefully the
Okay.
Sorting Hat will
Um,
remember me so you can tell me what I was.
I gotta ask, favorite character?
Oh man.
In Harry Potter?
Yeah.
I mean,
Gotta
I've
ask
always. It's funny. I like, of course, Sirius. Who doesn't like Sirius?
Ah,
This
yeah.
is the best.
Mhm.
Dumbledore, you love, and then you go, that's Snape.
Snape, though.
I almost want to say
Man, that
Snape.
hidden good
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
That hidden like,
Like the best.
Yeah.
In the end, you were like,
You find
oh, he
out
was
and
the
you're like-
best guy.
and you're
He's like
just
good guy
crying.
Greg.
Yeah,
He's
good
good
guy
guy
Greg.
You have her eyes.
I'm pretty sure that my hardbounds have like tear stains.
I wouldn't blame you for
that.
Yeah.
My sister thought I hated Harry Potter because we
What?
got the books and we used to read them together as a family. Like my mom would read it to us, and but I got ahead, so we stopped. And she told people for like 10 years not to read the books because she's like, well, my brother didn't like them because we stopped reading them. But what had happened is I had read all of them like multiple times, and this just came out like a year ago, 2 years
Yeah.
ago. My sister was like, what? I told so many people not to read those. And I was like, you ruined so many people's lives, is what you mean to say.
For
Yes.
me, when I was in school, we had to we were in this weird program where it's like you had to read a certain amount of books to get a certain amount of points, and they'd actually like categorize each book by points. So like a longer book would be like worth way more points. So like based on your reading competency, like mine was like you have to get 150 points, and then like one Harry Potter book was worth 30. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna knock this out. Versus like, you got Charlotte's Web, which were like 10. I was like, no, I'm gonna go big, go home. And then I blasted through the first 4 Harry Potter books in like 2 months.
Yeah.
I was like blasted through it.
Now I'm gonna throw out an obscure reference here, and maybe you don't know. It's the only book that I've read in like a day. Phantom Tollbooth.
I did read that. I don't remember it, but I do remember reading it.
If you're listening to this now, go check that book out. It's fantastic. That might also be part of what got me into like writing and creating is that book.
Okay.
It is such a like beautifully creative book. But that just reminded me of
Fiction,
it.
science fiction?
It's fiction, super fiction. It's about this kid who gets this toy toll booth, and when he goes through it, it transports him to this different land where...
That just reminded me about Indian in the Cupboard.
Yeah! Like a kid who got a thing that transfers like, oh!
But he goes into this distant land, and the first person two people he meets is a dog, and I could be mixing this up. I think his name's Tick, but he talks, and the humbug, who's an actual bug who's grumpy all the time. But he has to save this land, and it's oh man,
I know so much more about you now.
But don't take my word for it.
Hey, you're gonna get a copyright slam.
Oh my bad.
Man, what else?
Did you hear that about the news? Didn't he get like he used one of the lines from the show somewhere else?
Oh, did he?
Who is this?
The guy who did Ring Rainbow. I forget his name.
It's all right. I was parodying it, and there's we're
It's parody. Yeah, we're reviewing it.
We're reviewing.
It's a disparity.
Yes. What other things in nerd? Oh, I lost probably a lot of my time and friends to Legos. I used to build room-sized things.
It was about those Star Wars Legos.
It was crazy. Like I built a concert once.
Excuse me, what?
Expanded across my room, and so what it was like, there was a stage, and like Legos started coming out with like lighting, like stuff that like I made a Metallica concert. Yeah, I made a Metallica concert.
Dope.
And so there was a rocket that had 3 like glowing lights, and they were red. And so what I did was I made a skull, and then the lights ended up being the 2 eyes and like the nose, and then I made rigging, and it was probably okay. You can't see this at home, but it was probably like a foot and a half.
That's something we're gonna get better at too. Not going this here.
Just imagine what yay high means to you.
Whatever that means to you is exactly how tall it was.
But it was like. I lost a lot of time into Legos.
That'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
I never got into Legos like that.
Did you get into Duplos?
No.
I'm just kidding.
One of my friends got me one of those like spaceship ones, and it was like a long time ago when I was like still living in San Jose. But anyone know Bionicle?
Oh yeah, dude.
Bionicle, they had a comic book with it, and they
then they just disappeared one year.
Well, then they became like the Hero Factory, and then like because they kept doing all these weird reboots and like different islands of Matsuno. I was like, oh come on, but I was like that was awesome. Like I don't know, like again, hero stuff. Oh, man. And then if anything goes into hero humanoid type of thing, I'm like, I'm about it. I'm all about it.
Especially if you can make him look like Batman. Tom's all over it. You know, Lego actually just means toy.
Oh,
in Danish. Yeah.
In Danish?
It's a Danish company.
The more you know.
Means toy. Anyway,
interesting.
Thought that was fun.
Did you guys ever play with? I think it was called Mad Max. It was this little. Okay, the girl version was Polly Pockets.
Yeah, Mad Max's tiny little thing. Yeah.
Yes.
It was a TV show too.
Yeah.
And he'd travel through time with like a barbarian and an owl who spoke English.
Yeah.
Let me pitch it to you real well here. No. Let me make you real excited for this show.
A lot of like kids shows, like we were talking about, like Ren and Stimpy. It's like I do now that I do work in the film business and you guys probably imagine this sometimes too, where it's like I really wish I was at that pitch meeting. Or like
for anything, live or
for anything. Like it's like I imagine people just getting really stoned.
They're sharks, but they live on land
and they
in
roller
the streets. Street sharks.
It's brilliant.
What if ancient mummies are alive? Mummies alive. It's great. Let's put it on TV for 6 episodes.
Rats that fly in planes.
Now, Gargoyles, though, that's a great show.
It is.
Yeah, Keith Davies as Goliath. Oh, man. Who was your favorite? I don't remember all the names.
I don't remember all the names.
Who was Goliath, Broadway, Hudson, Bronx, Lexington?
I can tell you which one.
So much respect for you right now.
Yeah, I remember all the names. I don't know what they're associated with, though. The red one.
Brooklyn's a red nose.
That's my favorite one.
Lexington
Brooklyn
is the little one.
Was the best.
Bronx is the dog, and then Brooklyn is the big boy. No, Brooklyn's the old guy with the scar.
Are you going to be the guy on this show that remembers everything?
I am the human IMDb. Check me out on IMDb.
The red one I like. He was like the Raphael of the group.
Is that a paradox?
Red one.
He was kind of cool. He wasn't. Yeah,
he was the
kinda-
best,
kinda
dude.
like the
He was
Raphael
the
group.
best.
Goliath, keep David all day, there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Arbiter and Halo. Just fun fact.
But going
Oh.
back to like being in
Cool.
the pitch meeting, well, the cool thing like we're seeing in this time frame. I'm sorry, we're gonna timestamp it, but like we're seeing a bunch of reboots of a bunch of things, right? We got like you got the Battleship
For the
movie
future
that
listeners,
never happened.
It's reboots of whatever you want it to be.
RoboCop. You had Transformers. You know, like it's all the things in our childhood because at the time it's kind of like all the people who were children then are now growing up to like become filmmakers and we're like content creators now. So like I want to do something like it was part of my
I
childhood.
want to do my own version
Like,
of
Tom
Transformers.
inspired me to do that
Yeah.
actually recently.
And that's why they have like the Voltron series from DreamWorks that's on Netflix, which is amazing.
Okay.
But I never watched Voltron as a kid. I'm sorry. And they're like there's a Macross movie or a show that's in production. It's just like
There's a Minecraft movie in production.
yeah. I mean like
there was an emoji movie made. That
Yeah.
happened. I just
Like,
and we
yeah.
wonder why Hollywood had the worst summer in history.
like and Legos is now like a movie franchise instead of just like a toy company. So it's
makes
like
me think of
they
like
did real well with that,
Battlestar
though.
Galactica.
Yeah.
This has happened before and it will happen again.
it's just kind of crazy and like and anyone who plays the games like Resident Evil like is the one
Yeah.
that changed everything where it's everyone's like now like let's make Doom, let's make Assassin's Creed movie. So everyone's trying to make a video game movie, but none of them's whatever. But like Comic-Con now is not even about comic books, it's about everything that's
Yeah.
like nerdy
Yeah.
and like pop
Yeah.
culture. So
Yeah,
kinda
they
just-
they proudly display. They use the term popular arts on their
Mhm.
banners and stuff on the streets when you're walking through.
I went to
Um,
Comic-Con once.
It's
Once.
crazy.
Well, I'm going.
I've been a few times.
I'm going to BlizzCon this year. I'm super stoked.
I'm
I've never
really
been to a
jealous of you
con.
going to BlizzCon.
I've never been to one.
never been to one con at all.
Not at all. No.
Have you been to a con?
I've been to a lot of. a lot of them.
This will
used
be my
to,
first one. Y'all are going to hear all about it.
I used to
I'm super
exhibit, but that's like on the opposite side.
Mhm.
You still get to experience it. The just absolute chaos that
It is
is
chaos.
And
I
I
bet.
can't even call
many
it controlled
people.
chaos. It's uncontrolled chaos.
It's madness.
It's just
mayhem.
madness. It's mayhem.
Just
Yeah.
Michael Bayham.
Yeah.
What I-
Just take
okay,
hand
this is-
sanitizer. That's my only
What I like-
recommendation for you.
Sorry, I keep trying to cut you off. What I like about Comic-Con is, and what I like to, an energy that I'd like to bring to this show is that all levels of nerd are welcome.
Yeah.
Like you go to Comic-Con and like you have hardcore cosplayers that have been working on their costume
Yeah.
for the whole year,
Months, yeah.
and they are insanely good. And then you have those people that are like, oh, cool, like kind of just walking around and like, oh, this is neat.
Tourist.
And that's what I kind of,
And everyone gets along just fine.
Or they
Yeah.
take their kid, that they're like
you
in
appreciate
their
it. You're
40s
like,
or
oh, that's
whatever, and
cool.
they're taking their like 10-year-old kid.
planting the seed of nerddom.
Oh man, could you imagine being 10
I-
at Comic Con?
Oh.
You know
Blow
what I
your
love?
mind.
It would
I
blow-
love
yeah,
seeing
it
like the
does.
parents that have like the little kid like dress up as like a Pikachu or something like that. And I'm just like, oh
And
my
like
God,
they're an Ash or something.
yeah, like, that's
Yeah.
the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
There's a lot of that.
I've actually had like kind of negative experiences at conventions because there was a time like in college where like my friend just wanted to go to every single convention ever. So we went to like Fanime and like SatCon and like San Jose stuff. And my favorite one was like WonderCon. It's in San Francisco.
Yep.
And I met Jim Lee, who is like the head artist for like DC Comics right now.
Nice.
And I have him. He
You met Jim Lee?
Yeah.
That's
I'm
insane.
sorry, I heard you say Jim Lee.
Yeah, he signed 2 of my Hush trade paperbacks, and it's kind of one of the best things. But the negative thing that I ever had at a convention is like sometimes you do get some of the interesting people. So I like to say like nerddom is a spectrum.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to say I'm on like almost the edge. I'm playing with fire here, like edge of like appropriate nerdiness, because like there's sometimes where some people I was like
We're gonna
walking-
get so much shit for
I know.
that.
I know.
I'm just saying, I was walking around and everyone was like, hey, do you want a hug? I was like, I don't know you that way. I just want to go get that Keyblade over there. I don't know you though, but
That's how you can help it. It's fine.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
here.
I mean, I think all type of nerdiness is a form of social disorder. We're like praising fictional characters and
Yeah,
we're
we
internalizing
get
in our
wrapped up into
lives.
these things like video games. It's like sometimes it's like,
Yeah, but real life sucks.
yeah. Sometimes I just want to go out to space and kill aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's just, it's a way to kind of relate to something.
Yeah.
I guess, in a way.
build a
Relate, not
community.
even just to the character, but whoever thought of it as well. I mean, either on an emotional level or like, one of my favorite characters is Nightcrawler from X-Men. And not only on like this emotional level where he's trying to do good and be good, and I've always thought of myself like that's like something I keep in the forefront of my mind. Like I want to do good by people and do right by people. But on top of that, he gets to teleport. And I was like, that's dope. Like, that's another thing I relate to is like, if I could teleport, that would be the coolest thing in the world. So not only do I get this emotional
And just leave a little
connection to
fart
it,
smoke.
brimstone farts all around the place, little bamfs all over everywhere. But you know what I mean? So I think there's there is this like escape to it, but I think there's this humanizing side to all of it as well.
That's always what has hit me about pop culture, whether it's movies, TV shows, or anything. It's like I remember learning in American history in high school that, during the Depression, there was one business that actually continued to succeed, and it was the entertainment business. It's because it's an escape.
Yep.
Right.
And that's what, I mean, for me,
Because real life's hard.
it's hard. You have
So
bills.
hard.
You have like
So many bills.
relationships. You have work, but
Small talk.
small talk. That's okay. That's okay. That's what this show is for.
Small talk
to talk
hurts
about
me.
things. So
We're a support group.
Talk about
The difference between conversation and small talk.
There's a twist, Corey. This is actually a support group.
I just want,
this is just a sneaky intervention for Corey.
I would love this show to be like one of those things where like people just like, I gotta listen to my stories. You know, like, this is their escape. That way it's like, I gotta turn on Nerd On and listen to my stories.
So are we continuing this into our 80s and
I'm
then
down.
maintaining our audience
Yeah.
into their 80s?
I don't see my nerddom going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
Pretty ingrained at this point.
So everybody at home, tell us your story.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing growing up? What do you have a nerd on for right now? It's totally cool. You can admit it.
Raging
Yeah.
Nerd On.
Raging nerd on.
Maybe we'll do like a little Instagram picture you can comment on, tell us your stories, something like that. We'll
That'd
figure
be
it out.
something.
Yeah,
You
so
can
it's
slip
find its way
inside
to
our
YouTube.
DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to carp all the DMs.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of which, let's
All the
go over
DMs.
let's go over our social media. So
Josh, start us off.
Where are we going to be, Josh?
Instagram. You can catch the show on Instagram. It's Nerd On the Podcast. You can catch us on Twitter. It's Nerd On the Pod. You can catch us on Facebook. Nerd On the Podcast.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's
Keep
pretty
it simple.
easy to find.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter. Just Joshin ya. It's JUSJOSHIN.
So wait, what is it? Yeah, I thought you were Josh.
Just Joshin ya. Instagram is Joshua S. Manley. Facebook, I don't care. You can follow me, Joshua S. Manley. I'm out there. My website for my audio endeavors is soundslikesterling.com.
Yeah. Check it out.
Nice.
If you listen to my other podcast, you'll know what I'm going to say is I'm tall, dark, not ugly on everything. Because that is literally my handle for all Instagram, Twitter,
Everything.
Snapchat,
it makes it-
Asian Avenue, MySpace, like everything. I got
Tall, dark, not
ugly.
But that makes things easy. It's like
Yeah.
when I was
Yeah.
trying to get the screen names, it's like, nope, too long.
No, and I use that for everything. I use that for my Blizzard account. I use that for my WB account. I use that for like every single game account I need to have. And it's just like, tall, dark, not
Never
ugly.
forget.
Tall, dark, not ugly. You know, it's like, yeah, if I don't lie, then I don't have to remember what I said. You could find me on IMDb if you want to see some of the movie stuff I've worked on.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
can find me
under
there
Thomas.
too.
Thomas Pet Borsuth. Is yours like another name?
Joshua Sterling.
Okay.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Mine's simple. My personal one's at Corey89, Corey. But most of the stuff that I post on is at We Are Storyboard or wearestoryboard.com.
Oh, yeah, we got YouTube stuff.
Yeah, we got YouTubes, we got all that stuff. Tom's got
Yeah,
a few
check
short
it out.
films up on our YouTubes. But that's wearestoryboard.com. Now
You
on
just-
to the man, the myth, the legend.
The legend.
Big Daddy.
Ollie.
Wait, is it Daddy,
I don't know, 'cause
Daddy Fo? Daddy Fo?
Daddy
Daddy Foe. Papa Foe.
Papa Foe.
Papa Foe.
There it is.
You can find me almost everywhere, if not everywhere, factually. YouTube, Future Foe Plays. Future Foe was taken. Yeah.
That
I don't know.
bastard.
That bastard.
Do you ever message that person? Like
Every week.
Excuse me.
You should spam them.
Every week. No.
Oh, you should.
Twitter at Future Foe, Twitch at Future Foe if you want to nerd out beyond this podcast. Stop on by.
It's good stuff.
Always,
Check it out.
always down to chat about whatever,
This
chill.
man knows everything.
The game I play is
about
very
Destiny.
passive and chill, so I like to shoot aliens and talk about nerd stuff. So
Don't we all?
definitely stop on by. Yeah.
His video, just to plug him, his videos really are informative, and he stays on top of it, and it's really
yeah,
good stuff.
if you're into Destiny, that's what I'm going to be focusing on for the foreseeable next few months. So definitely stop on by. A lot of cool
also-
Destiny stuff.
interested in having an ear orgasm, having a nice voice. Hearing
No,
his
stop.
voice.
Sultry, beautiful voice on those,
My
on those
God.
Oh,
videos.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's everything there.
Everybody at home, thank you for listening to our first episode of Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve. See you guys later.
Nerd on, y'all.
Nerd on.
Ending broadcast.